I put these stripped leaves back on my left side, again working from left to right, and this is where the high comes into play. So this high is 12 millimeters wide. Again, there's a video showing you how I make these high. They're very handy things to have, especially if you don't trust your eye. It's not an absolute requirement though, so please don't go out and think you have to buy the materials for this and make them before you can actually start weaving, because you don't. You can start straight away. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to use this as a sizer. And you notice that I'm sizing from the back of the leaf, from the leaf, the side of the leaves, the two sides, where it's joined together. And that's because that's where it's at its straightest. So I know that any material that is waste will be from the outer and curved part of that leaf. So that becomes waste. So because I've used this high, I know that these 6 weaving strips are all the same width, which is very important for your weaving. So that goes in one pile. Pick up another one, and working from the part where it's joined together still, start sizing your Whenu. What I want to do is to show you what to do if you don't have a high. If you don't have one of these, a high. So I'm going to get the size that I want. See how I put those 2 leaves together? So it's around about there, around about the 10 to 12 millimeter. And then I'm going to place one of these Whenu that I have already sized on top of the unsized material and size from there. So you don't need to make a high. Now this one here is slightly smaller by about 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters is a lot when it comes to weaving. So I'm not going to throw that away. I'm going to save that because it's precious flax, but I'm going to put it in a separate pile. So that's how you would size flax if you don't have a high. Right, I can put the high away now. And again, put all of my now sized leaves on my left side. So now I'll go through and I will separate them. So I'll put the smaller Whenu that haven't made the 12 millimeter sizing in one pile, and the 12 mil Whenu in another pile. That one there is just slightly too small, but these ones are fine. This is really long flax. The longer the flax, the bigger the piece that you are weaving can be. So I'd say it was a good 1.5 meters long. That you can weave something. The first things that you are going to weave, the flax doesn't have to be this long. You can get by with flax that is between 80 centimeters and 1 meter long. That's fine. So tie up my waist and put that in the bucket. Now I need my scissors. I'm going to put all these on my left side and go through and cut off the part of the take that has been left on there, that white part. Just cut that off. This is an important part, is to cut off that take that is remaining on there. It's not weavable material. And I'll also go through and cut off the ratty or very, very tapered ends. It's important that you have a good pair of scissors. I've got a thing about scissors. If there are a pair of scissors in my studio that can't cut, they don't last long here. Okay. If I've got a lot of flax, what I'll do is I'll put these into lengths. So I'll bang the hard ends together and I'll run my hand down and I'll put them into the different lengths. So these ones here are very long. They go in one pile. These ones here are medium. They go in another pile. And these ones here are shorter. They're about 60 centimetres long, those ones there. They can still be used to weave something, but I won't be able to weave it very high. But they're still very good weaving strips, so they go in another pile. So again, firstly I cut the take off. You don't want to cut too much off, just the white parts that have been left on there. Then turn them around and go through and cut off the ratty or very tapered ends of these whenu. Whenu is a weaving strip, so these leaves of flax have now been turned into whenu. You'll hear that word a lot in your weaving journey. The next step is to hāpene. Hāpene is the action that is used to remove the moisture from this whenu. At the moment this is very stiff. It would be very hard to weave with. And if I was to weave with this whenu right now and weave something that is quite tightly woven, over time the air is going to take the moisture that is in this whenu out, and this is going to curl. What I'm going to do is to leave these prepared whenu lying out like so. And I'll check on them in a couple of hours. What I'm waiting for is for the air to take out the moisture for me. And when these get a slight curl to them, so they look like the letter C, I suppose, on profile, then I know that the air has taken out a lot of the moisture for me, and the next stage is going to be easier for me to complete. So I'll see you in the next video.